Hello you beautiful people and welcome back to Joeboy Racing. In today's video I'm going to be giving you my bets for day 2 of the St Leger Festival, the Friday at Doncaster, as well as touching on some other points. So let's get stuck into it. Now I am recording this before day 1's racing, so fingers crossed we go close with the couple of selections there. My first tip of the Friday, day 2, comes in the Flying Stakes, which is a Group 2 5 furlong sprint. And the selection for me here is Mission Central. Now, this is a very competitive sprint. You've got the likes of Lady Iman in here, who I rate very highly. You've got Havana Hurricane, who was a tipped up winner at Royal Ascot for the Channel, as well as Military Code for Godolphin. You've also got some consistent types that always seem to hit the frame but never quite be close enough in Argentine Tango and Dickensian. However, I just feel this Mission Central is a little bit less exposed than a lot of those types. He won a Group 3 last time out, albeit over 6 furlongs, but Wayne Lawton said that, the horse was quicker than he thought and that a step down in trip wouldn't be an issue at all, which I thought was really interesting. He's a super impressive type, and I just fancy him to go really well here. There's no Ryan Moore on board, plus I've heard there's some questions from people online and stuff about his head carriage, and that's why I think you're still able to get 3-1 about him. I made him a slightly shorter price than that myself, and at 3-1 I've had 1.5 points win only on Mission Central. My second bet comes in the 3 o'clock, the Doncaster Cup, over 2 miles and 2 furlongs. Now Sweet William seems to be a lot of people's banker of the week, and I can see why. He should be miles better than a lot of these in here. However, at 11-8, I can't bring myself to back him at that price. You've also got Hip Hop Dollar in here, who was very disappointing in the E-board, drifted in the market as well. I think he's probably too short based off that performance as well at 4-1, 9-2. Kyle of Lacouche won over further last time out at Goodwood by a country mile as well. So he'd definitely be able to stay the trip. However, I think he might just be a little bit of outpace in this, but he's definitely interesting at 9-1. You've also got Coltrane in here as well. You've got to love Coltrane. He's just a proper likeable type. Still going strong at 8 years old. However, I found the most fascinating runner in this whole field to be Sir Mark Prescott's Pendragon. Now, this horse was on a 4-timer last time out when he got beaten by about half a length, I believe, to Tarriance. But if you watch it back, for me, Pendragon shaped like the best horse in that race. He just was a little bit green towards the end, drifted right quite considerably to go upsides Tarriance, and that just sort of galvanised Tarriance into finding a little bit extra and getting his head up over the line. Tarriance has since gone and won a competitive handicap at the York Ebor meeting and is now subsequently entered for the St Leger. So he's obviously quite a highly regarded horse. Now this Pendragon, he's unexposed at the trip. He's a very progressive 3-year-old. He's won at Doncaster before and doesn't mind if there's a little bit of cut in the ground. So I just thought he was absolutely fascinating. I was concerned that they might just be using it for a prep run for the Cesarewitch. However, I just thought it was an odd race to choose for a prep run because if he does run well in this, he's off a mark of 97 currently. That will invariably go up after this race. So I don't know. I couldn't make heads nor tails of it, whether they think they've got one and they're going for it, or whether it's a prep run. Fingers crossed this because they do think they have one here. He has got a few pounds to find, obviously, on ratings with a lot of these. However, being the only 3-year-old in the field who's progressing rapidly, I think he's got every chance of pulling off a surprise. Obviously, with all the questions, I'm not getting stuck in. I'm not taking out a second mortgage. However, at 10-1 with the 3 places, I thought it was worth half a point each way just to find out. So that's all of my bets that I've had on day 2 of the St Leger Festival. I just wanted to mention, in the Flying Scotsman Stakes, I found that to be a really fascinating race as well. You've got some really nice types in here. I just wanted to get your guys' opinion. Do you think that Do or Do Not will finally break his maiden, or do you think he's going to run into another progressive type that denies him again? I personally thought it was really interesting that Ed Walker's running 2 in here, both by the same owners as well. He doesn't normally do that. So I thought that actually at the 2 Northern Champion was quite interesting, who won last time out in France on soft ground as well. So let me know down in the comments if any of you had a particularly strong fancy in that one. I thought that Hankelo was quite interesting as well for Carl Burke, Clifford Lee. You can still get 9-2 about that one as well. So in hindsight, after the race, it might look like that was a bit of a monster price, but there you go. So that concludes all of my bets, all of my tips for the Friday at Doncaster. Fingers crossed we can get off to a flyer on the first day. Like I said, I'm recording this before the day's running. As always, guys, get stuck into those comments. Let me know your best bets of day 2 of the St Leger Festival. Let me know if I've missed any good things. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I will be previewing Saturday and Sunday's action tomorrow, uploading that video tomorrow morning again, hopefully. We've got an absolute feast of Group 1s to get stuck into. If you like the video, give it a like. And yeah, best of luck with all of your bets, all of your selections over the weekend. And as always, happy punting.